Tony Daunt is with us right now, safely away, but on radio stations all across Michigan or through your smartphone or your tablet, however you might be listening at this very moment. And he has, with the Michigan Freedom Fund, have the Freedom Fighter of the Month, so we can feel good about something and positive about something. Thanks for being here, Tony. How are you holding up?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I'm holding up pretty well. Definitely strange times. We're doing our part at the Freedom Fund. Everybody's working from home, practicing that aggressive social distancing. It is starting to get a little bit tough after a couple weeks hold up like that. But previous generations have dealt with a lot more sacrifice than really sitting around at home. So we can do this, and I hope that you and your team are holding up well as well.
Tony Cuthbert is working very hard. He's got a young baby at home. He's got a wife who is on the front lines of healthcare every single day, Christy. And, by comparison, I ain't been nowhere and I ain't done nothing. But what we try to do is recognize that people, their freedoms have been taken away, speaking of the Michigan Freedom Fund, and to some degree that you're asked to volunteer, as you say. You're asked to do your part, and you're asked to sacrifice in some ways. And I think, it's one thing to give up being able to go to the bar or go shoot pool or whatever it is that you want to do. I think possibly where it really gets people is when they can't visit their family, or it's not smart to go to your grandmother's house, or maybe you have to wave through the window. That's when it becomes very, very real, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And that's, in my instance with a 9-year-old daughter, it's difficult for her to really understand why. Usually kids are pretty psyched that they don't have to go to school, but it's starting to become a chore and missing her friends. But again, difficult, but we can do our part, and it has brought out a lot of good and a lot of positive in people, and that's what related to our Freedom Fighter of the Month award. That's what we tried to point out, and that was Jimmy Green from ABC of Michigan up there in Central Michigan, and the work that he did pulling together money to help feed people. And we think that it's important to recognize people that are doing things like that are helping feed the needy, that are taking groceries to the elderly, that are checking in on their neighbors, having FaceTime or Zoom or however they do, whatever tool you choose to check in with your family and friends and just have that face and that interaction. And so Jimmy was a great example of that work, and we wanted to recognize him. And he's a great guy. He's very gregarious. I'm sure he's probably been on your program a few times here and there, and we are very happy to recognize him for that work.
Well, tell everybody, who is Jimmy Green and what did he do?
Well, he's with the Central Michigan, ABC of Michigan chapter, and he just a member of the community up there, very active in some of the freedom issues that we're a part of here at the Freedom Fund, and he worked to gather funds to purchase McDonald's gift cards and give them out to the needy, to kids who need that, to make sure that they were fed during this time, because there's a lot of kids who depend on their schools and things like that to be fed and to get some of those key essential tasks taken care of each day. And so he saw a need and he filled it, and he should be commended for that. And he's just, one of many that are out there doing that. And we're proud to know him and proud to offer that award to him.
Thank you very much. And how can people subscribe to the Front Lines of Freedom publication you put out each week?
You go to our website, MichiganFreedomFund.com. It's right there on the front page. Sign up, and we'll start sending it to you.
Okay, it doesn't cost a thing, and it shows up in your inbox every single week. And Tony Daunt shows up on this radio program on 13 stations across the state of Michigan, digitally and via podcast and via Facebook and Twitter and all of it, too. Thank you very much. Stay safe, and please keep in close touch.
You bet. You take care.
Appreciate that very much. And we often talk politics with him, but life is number one right now.